Okay, it is 3 minutes after 3. We'll let people trickle in as they come, but we'll get started here. My name is Brian Weisbrod. I'm the corporal here at the Taber RCMP Detachment, and I'm currently the acting detachment commander. To my right is Staff Sergeant Kevin Charles, who's a district advisory NCO for the Southern Alberta District. To my back here is Inspector Ian Shardlow, who is the Operations Support Officer for the RCMP Southern Alberta District. Just a couple of housekeeping things. This community town hall will be recorded, so it can be viewed later on the MD's social web pages. And there's a question and answer module down below the right beside the chat function. So if you have any questions during this, if you could please type them in there, and we'll answer them as we go. With that being said, just a little bit of an introduction. So like I said, my name is Brian Weisbrod. I've been posted here at Taber Detachment for just shy of 4 years. I've been a member of the RCMP for almost 15, 3 years in Manitoba. And I was transferred to Whitminster where I did 8, and I've been down here ever since. I've got a wife and 2 young kids. We live here in Taber. I enjoy the community and enjoy the detachment. Taber Detachment is currently established with 5 constables and 1 PSC. We have 1 corporal, and we are vacant 1 sergeant detachment commander. We're in the process of going down to 4 constables here at the end of next month with a transfer, and currently in the process of hiring another support service. Just to answer that question there, has the Taber Police Department looked to provide a crime map that's public, similar to what Edmonton has? I think it could bring a lot of value to let people be more aware in their neighborhood, where, when, what happened. As a matter of fact, we do have a public crime map, very similar to Edmonton Police Services, and it is available to the public. It shows all the crimes been dispatched to the RCMP detachment in the last 2 weeks, and is updated very regularly. So we can throw in the link there, or I can follow up with you with the link to access that crime map. Okay, so the whole idea is to have a conversation with the public and community members and let you guys know where the detachment is going, our priorities that we've set out for the year, and how we're making out. So through consultations we did at the end of March with the public, with the community, and with local councils, we came up with priorities for the detachment. One of those being traffic safety and crime prevention. So with traffic safety, the members here have been out on the road, they're writing tickets, and to date for this fiscal year, the detachment has written 441 traffic tickets. That's in combination with our integrated traffic units out of Redcliffe and Lethbridge, who have written approximately 200 tickets this fiscal year in the MD of Taber, Village of Barnwell, and Town of Oxford. So for traffic safety, I think the members are doing pretty good as far as enforcement goes. We've also set a goal for joint forces operations. This detachment is in support of joint forces operations, where we work with other police services, we work with other agencies, and work together to combat a local issue. One of our biggest partnerships with the community peace officers to the MD of Taber. We've also worked together with the CP police and Fish and Wildlife. To date, through this fiscal year, we've done 7 operations, traffic enforcement related, with 2 of those with Taber Town Police just doing walkthrough patrols of their Corn Fest this summer. As far as crime prevention goes, the one thing for crime prevention with the members here at Taber is to be on the road. Police visibility and out there making active patrols. I'm happy to say that the detachment here has surpassed the goal already with 1,173 targeted patrols in the MD of Taber, the detachment area. Police visibility is a priority with the members, and they're regularly seen on the road. They're not in the office unless they absolutely need to be. So, along with crime prevention, just some stats here is B&Es, our break and enters, are down 40% compared to this time last year. That's been the fiscal year, and 50% decrease in B&Es from January to now compared to last year. In addition to that, we do regular compliance checks on offenders as far as curfew goes when we have somebody on condition. So that's kind of our APP and our status and where we're at as a detachment. Let's see if there's one more question here. Okay. Is there any questions as far as which priorities you'd like to see the RCMP detachment do, what you think we're doing right, what you think we can improve on? I'll turn the floor over to Staff Sergeant Charles. Do you have anything to say?
Just that, again, the RCMP, we are Alberta's police service. We're proud to serve Albertans, and especially those of you here in the MD of Taber. If you have any comments or questions, please shoot them our way. That's what we're here for.
I'm going to pass forward to Inspector Shardlow if you have anything.
I think that's pretty well done. I will tell you that that break and enter stat is impressive. In the Southern Alberta district, we're running at about a 20% reduction, with a 17% overall reduction kind of throughout the province. So I mean, they're certainly leading the way in that particular stat. But we've seen a noticeable decrease in crime over the last couple of years. That in particular, if I was to combine everything in the Southern Alberta district, which encompasses a big chunk of the southern part of the province, is averaging around a 24% reduction in relation to property crimes. Kind of statistically, our persons crimes are going down with exceptions along the way. But the trend is certainly something that we're proud of. We want to get back to our community stakeholders and the residents of each one of our communities through these kind of community consultation and engagement. So you're going to see a lot more of these as we move forward. It's a big priority of the commanding officer that he's put through the province, that we would continue to do these. I would anticipate you would see one again kind of early next year as we start to set the priorities for in particular the Taber detachments and before. But we can talk about a couple of, I'll say, bigger initiatives that are driven by the province. So Project Lockup was announced in February 2019, which created a framework that enables the RCMP and its enforcement citizen-led stakeholders to place a spotlight on repeat victims of crime. So not only are we concentrating on the prolific offenders, I think we all know that 80% of the crime is committed by 5% of the population. And so we have initially in the first part of the crime reduction strategies focused on the prolific offenders by bringing lots of resources to bear specifically on those people. That saw a large decrease in our property side of the crime. Now we're looking at providing that same intelligence and supported level to the victims of crime, those who are repeat victims of crime. It's quite shocking, actually, how many businesses, residences are targeted more often than not. And so Project Lockup, through the community engagement and outreach specialists, have been providing some support to those businesses around target hardening and just recognizing the things that they can do to certainly make it more difficult. The callback unit is another division-led project where we have taken some of our members who, for a variety of reasons, have or are unable to work, full frontline duties, but are still capable of contributing to the overall, the impact that the RCMP has throughout the province. And so these members will take calls that come in that are not necessarily required dispatch to a police officer, and provide them with that service level that they can on those initial calls. And then if that's all that's required, it goes into the statistical keeping, and then that's where the intelligence-led decisions are made from. So we really are encouraging the reporting of crime, regardless of kind of the circumstances. I know there's people out there who believe that, it's too small, or, there's really nothing the police can do. That may well be the case in each individual circumstances, but the cumulative whole of the intelligence that provides allows us to decide where we dispatch resources, where the crime reduction unit focuses on. So they are, maybe as an individual circumstance, doesn't seem like a big piece, but the greater whole is served by the entirety of them. And then the supports that we provide the detachments. So we talked about not only the crime reduction unit, but major crimes, the integrated drug traffics, the traffic sections, and all those parts. And so I think as a whole, the crime reduction strategy that the province has done, again, intelligence led and making those positive decisions, as was mentioned here earlier. If there's been directed patrols, like was it 1,400? It's an incredible number of directed patrols. So looking to decide where we put our resources to have the biggest impact. And so, yeah, I think as we move forward through the rest of this reporting period and into the next reporting period, we're looking for that community input as to where they feel that those resources should go and what we should be focusing on as we move forward. That's it.
Thank you, sir. We just have one question here. Is there a program or plan that could be implemented to educate those who are cautious or fearful of the police to develop an understanding that the RCMP are here to help? I do not feel this is enough to host an event. I think the RCMP may have to find a way to be invited to community or cultural events. And I agree. I think the RCMP, specifically the Taber Detachment, to become involved in the community is something that we don't shy away from. I think that it's very important, especially given the different community members that we have, to try to be involved in as many things as possible. So, is there a program that could be implemented? I'm not too sure if there's a program specific, but I do think that community involvement is a priority of this detachment. I hope that answers your question.
So there are a host of organizations that the community can start up as well, right? So I will tell you, I'm a big proponent of Rural Crime Watch or Citizens on Patrol, depending on kind of which of those two programs fits better with your community. I would suggest probably because we deal outside of the town of Taber proper, you're looking at a Rural Crime Watch program. Again, these citizen-led programs that we support provide a really, not only a functional service in the sense of eyes and ears on the road as to what's going on in the community, but it also provides us with another opportunity to have members involved there. So I've been a part of a couple different Rural Crime Watch communities. I grew up in Nanton, Alberta, which is a small town just south of Calgary. So looking to engage with those, rural property owners, farmers, rural agrarian businesses and stuff, it's an excellent program to start. If you're talking about more, marginalized communities, I'm not sure if there are, cultural centers or something like that. That's something where we can certainly engage in that side of things. I know that there are several detachments. The Brooks Detachment has a very diverse community there. The detachment is heavily involved in becoming involved in as many of those cultural centers and learning opportunities as there really is there. So, I would encourage you, if you have an idea, that sounds like somebody there who has a specific place that they may want to suggest. We're open to those opportunities for sure. And it's about finding the right opportunity to engage with that community.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any other questions?
Just to echo Inspector Shardlow there, when it comes to these types of events, you can expect another town hall, likely virtual, given the COVID restrictions, to occur probably February, March of 2022. Our calendar year runs April 1st to March 31st every year. So for the next town hall this winter, Brian or the new commander, whoever that may be, will be searching for input from you as far as what are your priorities. So years ago, years gone by, we used to have a lot of our priorities told to us by either the provincial level or district level, saying, here are your priorities for this year. And we've realized kind of the error in our ways in that a priority that is applicable for Fort McMurray is not necessarily applicable for Vauxhall. So we've kind of evolved this, and I think get to a good position where we're very flexible now to the needs of the communities in which we serve, so that each detachment can be very, very in tune with the needs and wants of our community. So it's very important. Please tell your friends and family, your coworkers, to provide that feedback to this detachment, because we want to know what is important to you. What do we need to be focused on?
That being said, this is a small detachment. It's a community-based detachment, and the door is always open, regardless of who it is here at the time. We're open to feedback. We're open to your concerns. I would welcome you to stop by, have a chat, give us a call, send us an email. But the dialogue, we want to remain open. Please reach out to us. Anything else to add?
Will this be recorded and go on the website?
It is. Yeah, it's going to be posted on the website. Probably not today, but I would imagine by the end of this week.
So if you have questions after the fact, I'm not sure how long it stays up, but a week or so after this is actually posted, if you have questions, please reach out to the commander. If he doesn't have the answers, you can reach into us and we'll certainly get them for you. And yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, thank you.